So good afternoon. So good afternoon. For today we will recap or uh, uh, refresh natin yung mga commands sa two-dimensional objects. Bakit natin kailangan mag-recap? Kasi para sa so ito. So next week we will be having an e-learning week. So you will be practicing by creating these 2D drawings in preparation for the individual lab performance. So for today, we'll refresh the commands uh, that we are using for two-dimensional objects. So lahat na na-discuss natin, we'll have a quick recap uh, for us to be prepared for our individual lab performance for two-dimensional and three-dimensional. Pero for today, we'll just discuss two-dimensional objects. So let's start again. Let's go back. So the various commands again. Let's talk about the various commands for two-dimensional objects. So first, the line or shortcut for line is L. So for line, simply we can create any line or a line with an angle. For example, just type less than then the angle 45 degrees. So naka 45 degree yung angle. Or for example, again another line. For example, we want 15 degrees. So naka 15 degrees. So yan. So simply, shortcut for line is L. So you can either specify the next point or type the distance you want to use.
Wala pa po. Wala pa pong pala para sa...
So let's try a new one. So next we have polyline again. Polyline is a combination of lines and arcs of curves. So shortcut for polyline is PL. So start point, then the point, then you can make it into an arc. So type A. So you can create various arcs. Again, nag-recap lang tayo in preparation for two-dimensional e-learning week and for the individual performance. Also, we can specify the width. So for example, uh, PL, starting point, then type width, and specify the width. For example, 10. So as you can see, 10 yung width na lalabas. Oh, let's try, sorry. So yan, so can see 10 yung width ng arc. So nagka-width. Then we can continue change to line. So yan, nagka-width yung ating object. So another command we can use is the circle. So for circle, we have various methods for circle. So first, center radius.
Sa baba?
We can specify the radius, for example, 500. Or we can create a circle using a center diameter. For example, diameter is 1000.
Alisin
So
mo.
as you can see, same yung ating radius sa ating diameter.
Oo.
So we have two identical circles.
Tapos hindi ako papasok ng ano. May training. First day.
The next 2-point circle,
Ay,
we have the first point to the second point. We can specify. Also, we can have 3-point circle. So point 1, point 2, then point 3.
oh.
So yan.
Sabi daw, pareho po sabi, hindi daw po nagkakasya.
We can also create a circle using tangent radius. So bakit tangent radius again?
Baka may
To recap, so two tangent lines and its radius. So let's try tangent radius. Specify the first tangent line, then the second tangent line,
Uy, meron
then specify the radius. So yan, naka-tangent yung circle sa two tangent lines. So let's try again.
Albert ba sa Sapaw? Sino yan? Albert. Tingnan natin.
So first tangent line to the second tangent line,
Kinabahan bigla eh.
then the radius 500. So yan. So tangent radius is we have two tangent lines. The circle is tangent to two tangent lines. So how about tangent? We can also create a circle using tangent. So it means we have to create three lines or tangent lines. Then click tangent. So the first point to the second point, then to the third point, then automatically the circle is tangent to the three tangent lines. So again, let's try another one. So the circle, so tangent. So again, the circle is tangent to three tangent lines. So next, we also have arcs. So for arcs, again, to recap, we have several methods to create an arc. First, the 3-point arc. So point 1, point 2, then point 3. The next one is using the start, center, end. So by using the start, then the center, then the end. I-move natin to. Also, you can create arc using start, center. But this time, we'll be using the angle. Start, center, then the angle. For example, 50 degrees. So as you can see, 50 degree lang yung na-form ng arc. Also, we can have start, center, length. So the start, then the center. Then you can specify the length. So how much length you want to produce. Or for example, is 1,000. So, ito lang yung na-create ng 1,000 length. So next, we can try start and angle. So for start and angle, so syempre start, then the end point, then the certain angle. For example, we have 90 degrees. So yan, naka 90 degree. Or also, we can have 180 degrees. So yan, it is with respect to 180 degrees. So next, start, start and direction. So the start point, then the end point. Then you can customize the direction of the arc. So for example, at 270 degrees, so yan. So it is the same as the previous arc. Another method we can use is start and radius. So specify the start point, then the end point, then its radius. For example, the radius will be 500. So yan again, it has the same uh, arc form as the previous one. Another one is center start end. So as opposed to start center end, nagkabaliktad lang yung center at saka start. So instead of start, we will first specify the center, then the start, then the end point. So as you can see, identical siya sa previous natin na arc. We also have center start angle. So instead nung kanina na start center angle, nauna lang yung center bago yung start. So we have center, then the start, then what angle you want to produce. For example, is 180 degrees. So ito yung form na 180 degrees. So again, same lang siya as the previous arc. So next, we also have center start length. So, kabaliktaran naman ng start center length. So, we'll start at the center. Then the starting point. Then we'll specify the length of the coil. For example, is 2,500. So again, let's try. So, ito lang yung na-produce ng ah, ating
Para siya na ginawa mo.
center start length.
Kung ano mo na approbahan.
Then lastly, continue. It means it continues the arc to your last point. So, yan. So, for example, yan yung last point. If you click continue, doon siya magka-continue sa ating last point. So, lagi siya nagko-continue sa pinaka-last point na na-create natin. So, next, we can also have the quadrilateral. So, first, rectangle. So, you can specify, you can create a rectangle using the area. Then type the area, for example, 2,500. Then I specify the length, for example, we have 500. So it automatically creates the rectangle with this given area and one of the dimensions other than length or the width. So let's try width ang ating specify. So again, area. For example, 2,500. So the width, for example, is 1,000. So ito yung na-create na ating object. So ganun siya kanipis. So if we have a quadrilateral such as rectangle, we can form also polygon, for example, 4 for a square, for a diamond. So again, shortcut for polygon is POL. So we can have as many sides as we want. For example, a 20-sided polygon. The center, for example, inscribe. So again, inscribe means uh, the polygon is inside the circle, while circumscribe about the circle, the polygon is circumscribing or outside the circle. So again, we type POL, then specify the number of sides, for example, a 10-sided polygon or decagon. Then the center, let's try circumscribe. So yan. So ito yung example lang. Inscribe in a circle. Ito naman yun, circumscribing the circle. If we resume, the circle is outside the polygon or the polygon is inside the circle. So the polygon is inscribed in a circle. So next we also have ellipse. So we can create ellipse by three ways. So the first way to create an ellipse is a center. Then specify the end axis. So yeah. Or also we can create an ellipse using axis to axis. So specify the first axis, then the other axis. So let's try again. The first point, then the last point. Also an elliptical arc. So pwedeng for example 15 degrees lang yung ating elliptical arc. Also we can hatch. For example, uh, this point and this point. So meron din tayong gradient. It's the color of the circle. We can also have boundary. So kung aling boundary lang yung madedetect natin. So di na-detect. For example, this brick. So yan, nakapag-hatch na tayo. So next, let's try the other drawing panels. So ito yung mga di na-discuss na wala sa module, pero let's try to discuss. So first is the spline. Just specify the first point to the second point, then another point, until you have reached your design endpoint. So to close, just type close. So yan yung na-create na spline. Also, we can create spline CB. So it means CB means control vertices. So you are drawing a spline with a control vertex or vertices. So as you can see, meron tayong dash line. So yun yung vertex. So yan. So may nalabas na vertex as a guide to draw the splines. So yan, as you can see, may mga dash line. Para as a guide sa pag-draw ng ating splines. And to close, type close. So na-close yung ating spline. So again, spline CB or spline with controlled vertices. Meron tayong vertex guide to create a spline. So next, we have a construction line. So a construction line creates a line of infinite length. So for example, we have the vertical and the horizontal. So as you can see, infinite yung kanyang line. So kahit i-move mo ng i-move, so infinite yung distance ng line na to. So it extends the line at both sides, so left and right for the x-axis, and uh, upward and downward for the y-axis. So what's the difference between the construction line and the uh, ray? So construction line again, we have two axes. So sa ray, we have a point, then yun yung ray natin. So again, sa inyong geometry, a ray has a point, then the line. So it extends only to that certain that certain point. So kahit i-move nyo, so yan na-extend yung line. So infinite yung ating line. So let's try the next one. So we have here multiple points. So it creates multiple points. So you can just so yan. So specify any points you want to create the multiple dots or points. So as you can see, ito yan yung mga na-create nating points or dots. So yun lang yun, simple. Nag-create lang tayo ng mga points. So next one is we have divide. So it creates evenly spaced points, objects, or blocks along the length or perimeter of an object. So for example, we have a rectangle here. So then let's try to use divide. Select the object. Then input the number of segments. So for example, 4 segments. So as you can see, there are 4 segments here. Naka-8, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's proceed. So we also have measure. So measure creates point objects or blocks at measured intervals. As you can see, so at measured intervals, so nag-create yung a measurement. So again, it creates point objects or blocks at a measured intervals along the length or perimeter of an object. Then also we can convert an object that encloses an area into a region object. So for example, as you can see in the figure on the left, so now combine it into several regions, into a single complex region. So yung rectangle ay na-combine dun sa sa two circles and the rectangle. So it creates a single object. So for example, so yan. So let's try region. So select the objects. So we have three regions created. You can see we have three regions created now. So we have, ito yung isang region, ito yung padalawa, at ito yung patatlo. So next we have 3D polyline. So for example, so we have created a 3D polyline. So next command, we have a helix. So it creates a 2D spiral or spring. So for example, specify the center of the base. Then the radius or diameter, for example, is 500. Then the top radius, for example, we have 250. Then the height, for example, we have 1000. So we created yan, a spring with a height of uh, 1000 of 1000. So yan, kapag nag-3D tayo, o nag-orbit, so nag-create siya ng 3D, three-dimensional object. So let's try again. Specify the center, then the radius, then the top radius, then the height. So if you will orbit, so ang height na nung ating spring is 5,000. So next, for the donut, specify the inside 1,000, the outside diameter 25. So yan, nakapag-create na tayo ng donut again. We'll just specify the inner and the outside diameter. For example, is 500, then 750. So yan. So napag-create tayo ng various donut. So the next one we have rectangular revision cloud. So para sa yung rectangular revision cloud, so it creates a revision.
Pag it's there,
So again, the revision clouds or rectangular revision clouds. So for example, we revise a certain part of the drawing. So yun yung nag-highlight. Uh, it highlights which part yung na-revise natin. So yung cloud, as you can see, so parang it knows that by using the revision clouds, it highlight that part na na-review siya or na revise yung certain part na yun. So we can create a rectangular type of cloud for revision. So common ito sa mga civil engineering. Polygonal type ng clouds. Or also freehand, for example. So freehand yung ating revision clouds. So yun yung mga various commands we can use for two-dimensional drawings. Also, let's recap. So to move, simply type M. So simply move objects. Also, we can copy. So select the object or type CO. So yan, na-copy na from one point to another. We can also stretch a certain drawing. Or we can also rotate, for example. So gawin natin pataas. Also, we can mirror the object. For example, distribution cloud. So let's mirror or shortcut is MI. Specify the mirror point. So yeah. Then type N para di ma-erase yung source. Also, we can scale a certain object or the revision cloud. So, pwede tayo paliitin or palakihin pa. We can scale at any point we want. We can also 3. So, simple natin yung part na yun. So, fillet. So, it applies on pwede sa rectangle. So, fillet is F. So, first, specify the radius. So, let's try 100. Select the first line. Then the second line. So, yan. Nag-fillet na siya as 500. So, let's try 1,000. First point to the second point. So, yan. Na-fillet siya ng 1,000. First point and the second point. So, ibig sabihin hindi siya pwede masyado malaki yung fillet radius. So, yan. It simply fillets or filleted rather pala, filleted the certain drawing. Oh, sorry, and lastly, array. Sa array, sorry, sa array. So we can create, for example, a rectangular array. So select the object, right click, so yan. So yan, we have 4 is to 3, so 3 rows and 4 columns. So 4 columns and 3 rows. You can specify, for example, 8 columns and 2 rows. So automatically, pag nag-check, it automatically adjusts to your specified columns and rows. So yan, we have 2 rows and 8 columns. Another one, let's try. We can also have a polar array. A path array naman is may specific path na sinusunod. Then the polar array. Specify the center point. So yan, nag-create siya ng polar array. So pwede rin namang example again. Specify the center. So yan. It created a polar array of the revision class. So also meron tayong other command. So set to by layer. So it changes the property overrides of selected objects to by layer. So ibig sabihin, you can specify which properties are changed to by layer, including the color, line type, line weight, and material. So ito ay sa layers. So how about change space? So it moves objects between model space and paper space. So ayan. So sa layout tab siya. So naka-paper. Or ayan, naka-space na tayo. So palipat-lipat tayo ng ating either model space or paper space. Then lengthen. So again, to length, a certain, for example, line. We can lengthen the line. Or, and also the included angle of the arc. So for example, as you can see, at point 1, na lengthen siya, or na-extend siya up to the point 2. Also, we can edit polylines and 3D polygon meshes. So ito yung pang-edit. Then the next one, we have edit spline. So ito ay para sa mga splines. So for example, let's draw a spline. Again, sorry, wala. So we can edit the certain spline. Yan, saan yun? So just click yan. So we can edit the spline here. So next, another one, we can edit the hatch. For example, lagyan natin ng hatch, type 8. Lagyan natin ng hatch top. So may gap, ito na lang ano natin. So for example, na hatch. So we can simply edit the hatch. So click here. Click nyo to. So we can simply edit the hatch. Click yung angle. So yan automatically nagpalit yung ating hatch. Also we have edit array. So syempre to edit associative array. Objects and the source object. So yung kaninang array. We can also align objects with other. So for example, yan nga. A rectangle at points 1 to 3 and 2 to 4 we have an arc, a semicircle. So pwede natin siya i-align. Pwede rin tayo mag-break. So it breaks the selected object between 2 points. Another one is break at a point. So it breaks the selected object at a single point. So next we can join two similar objects that are unbroken. So to form a single unbroken object. We can also reverse the direction of the line. Polyline, spline, and helix objects. So for example, so now, as you can see, object direction has been reversed. So na-reverse na yung direction nitong spline na to. We can also copy nested objects. So it copies objects nested inside the blocks and external references. So instead of exploding or voiding an xref or external references, block, DGN, underlay, underlay to be able to copy objects within nested within them. So you can copy the selected objects directly into the current drawing. So pwede rin naman. So delete duplicate objects. So cleans up overlapping geometry by removing unnecessary or unneeded objects. So we can also bring to front. So mauna yung object. Send to back. Bring above objects, under objects. For example, ito. So let's bring to front. Pag na-move kayo, so it is in front of the object. So pwede natin siyang gawing behind. Kaya send to back. So mas nasa unahan na ito. Revision cloud. So, meron din tayo dito. Erase. Ito erase an object. Of, yung nga kanina, explode. Pwede natin explode to. Or pwede rin nating i-offset, for example, this object. Kaya ba? So, let's try a circle lang i-offset natin is, let's try a polygon of 15 sides. So, we can offset this. For example, is 25. Drag the object. So, yan. Na-offset na natin siya by 25. Pwede tayo mag-continuous ng pag-offset until we reach our desired offset.
Wala kayong ano, mga kalahati na picture yung pinagtuloy na kayo. Ano lang pa, ano pa lang pa.
So, it reached the maximum offset inside the polygon. And also, we, again, for two-dimensional, we also discuss how to annotate or measure. Let's modify this first. Set current. So we can measure the linear one. 208. We can also measure the align. Pwede angular. So let's try. So angular again. So here's the angle. For example, 119 degrees. Also arc length. So let's create an arc. So we can measure the arc length. Also, the radius, for example, ito, 73, 373 rather, and a diameter of 745. Also, jagged means radius din siya pero may style lang. So yan, naka-zigzag. Then we also have the ordinates, so we have the x-axis and the measurement of the y-axis. We also have the continuous, so continuous yung paglalagay niya ng dimension. For example, so continuous yung paglalagay niya ng dimension. And also we have so continuous, so it continue nga. We have the baseline, so based from the base point, so dire-diretso yung kanyang distances from the base point. Also, na-discuss din natin yung so for the text, so again, we have single line text or a multi-line text. So yung multi-line, yung may rule. And lastly, also we have discussed the layers. So again, if na-lock, so yan, hindi ma-edit at madidelete. Then we can also freeze or to. So freeze para mawala to, or tunawin para bumalik. Off para mawala, on para bumalik. So simple ganun lang. And lastly yung annotate. For example yan, we plot. Selected the plotter. Then we can preview. Alin yung kanyang. So yan yung kanyang mapiprint. So let's try a specific window. For example, ito lang. So plot, quick access toolbar or pwede rin right click then plot. So plot. Again, select the plotter. Then what area to plot, for example, the display. Then we can preview. Ito yung kanyang na-plot na object. So again, simply, nag-recap lang tayo for two-dimensional objects. So again, so for next week, for next week, we will be having an e-learning week. So, sa mga meeting natin next week, so di tayo mag-meet. Kasi nakalaan siya sa e-learning week. Sorry. So again, what's an e-learning week? So, nasa syllabus naman to. So, you can practice sa time nyo. So, para to, in preparation for the individual performance, you can practice. So, di naman to recording pa. So, pang-practice lang to. So, you want practice this drawing in preparation for the individual performance. So, again, let's go to the calendar. So, ngayon, week 11. So, syempre, ang next na natin ay week 12. So, itong week na to, week 12. So, e-learning week. So, mag-upload to sa April 11. So, yan. So, use the time to practice for two-dimensional drawings. So, week 13 and 14 naman is for three-dimensional drawing. So, we'll discuss how to create three-dimensional objects using various commands such as yung extrude, chamfer, yung mga ganon. So, ito yung allotted for three-dimensional drawings. Then, mag-upload dito. Sa date na to yung ating CAD output 3 after natin ma-discuss yung lahat ng para sa three-dimensional objects. So, week 14. Then ito, week 15 at 16. So, i-upload. Paagahin kong upload ng individual performance. For example, May 2. So, nandito lang siya sa week holiday to, di ba? So, dito. Sa week 15. Then, submission sa week 16. So, at most, hanggang dito. For ito. Saturday, for example, from 2 to 30. Ganun. Ganun yung uh, haba ng pagpapasa ng individual na performance. Bakit pinaaga natin sa week 15 hanggang 16 kasi week 17 nga is the final. So para di sumabay sa pag-aaral nyo at sa exam sa final. So pinaaga na natin yung pag-upload at submission ng CAD out, I mean the individual performance for 2D and 3D. So that ends our presentation for today for the recap of how to draw using the 2D commands. So I hope you learn again or na-refresh kayo. So with that, thank you and God bless.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po.
Thank you po.